Good evening, everyone, and Chag Pesach Sameach. I hope you're having a great Passover. This is the first Passover for a lot of people. I mean, people who eventually laid down Easter and decided to start keeping the actual appointed times and feasts of the Most High. So it can be difficult for a lot of people. I have some advice on how to survive it, especially if you're a junk person like me who likes cookies, donuts, and all these other things. But before I do that, I want to share a very tumultuous but memorable Passover that I had back in 2022. And during that time, it was vastly different from the cushy surroundings that I have here in my hotel. I'm only 7 minutes down the street away from the congregation that I attend, and we're doing the Passover Seder for the congregation together on tomorrow. So I want to share something memorable with you first and foremost, and then I want to give you some tips on how to successfully survive the Pesach minus the cushy things that we're used to. Okay, having said that, Shalom Lachem, Chag Pesach Sameach, Anashim Tovim, Uvruchim Habaim La'arutz HaKatan Sheli. Welcome back to my little channel and this latest edition of Podcast Sacrum, where the goal is to empower the believer with biblical knowledge that will bring about balance, and that balance will foster positive, forward and upward movement in this walk that we call life. My name is David, and I am your host. So, as I said, I want to share with you a very interesting time that I experienced up on the Temple Mount back in 2022, not terribly long ago. It was a trifecta. It was Pesach, Ramadan, and Easter at the same time. The city was completely tense. The people who processed the cross around through the city was having issues with the Orthodox Jews. The Armenians were bumping heads with different people. And of course, getting some pushback from the Islamic side as well, too. But that's been the nature of the city for forever. Now, just to give you a little context before I hit start on here, I had been told that I couldn't go all the way up onto the platform. I wanted to get up onto the platform really high so my viewers could get a look at the Dome of the Rock, and they can see a lot of the things in the backdrop and the distance, okay? You'll hear a lot of noise in the background, people talking, various conversations and whatnot. And this video is called Get Out on my channel. And you're going to see at one point, you'll hear when it's time to go. Certain people, you don't have to tell us twice. Here, take a look. Tempers are really tender, but as you heard, I asked the soldier, was it okay to go up? And I think because he wants to keep the calm, he asked me to go back down. So at any rate, I'm going to go back up to the top of this set of stairs and see if I can get a couple of shots of the platform. If I can't make it all the way up, I apologize, because it was my intention to get you some good shots. So right here, I make my way deliberately up to the top, and I want to get as long of a glance of the platform that I possibly can before the same guards who sent me down the other steps would come to remove me again. I had on short pants. They came down below my knees, but obviously that wasn't enough for people. There are also snipers on the roof of the Dome of the Rock. There are snipers in various locations. They are not pictured, however, because it probably would have been confiscated. But again, there's going to be a point that comes when I know that it's time to go. I won't need it. Some people don't need to be told multiple times. But here we go. Great shot coming up here. It's all gold up top. Worth noting.
So, looks like it's on and popping now. Literally.
They want us to exit the area quickly off the platform.
All right, folks, I'm out. I hope you enjoyed the little piece that I attempted to share. I'll give it a try again one day next week. Until then, Chag Pesach Sameach, Bo Yeshua. Amen.
Now, of course, yeah, that's the end of the video. That's how it went. But that was a very tense situation. Rubber bullets were fired that day. Earlier in the day when I had gone up, there was a lot that was happening that day. The block was truly hot, as I said in the video. So how are things here in cushy Northern California and Silicon Valley? Well, they're fine. Now, a couple of tips, and I'll be off this video. But I want to help my new people who are experiencing Pesach for the very first time, and they want to know how they're going to make it over. I'm a cereal guy. I gotta have my cereal in the morning, right? Crispios. Now, these things, I expected these things to taste like the styrofoam packing peanuts that they use, in UPS and these other. Actually, Geffen, shout out to Geffen. They're lightly sweetened. The picture, they have blueberries. I dressed them up with, blackberries, blackberries with the juice. I hooked them up like that. They're really good. They satisfy. They really did. That's probably my top recommended product there. Donuts. You can't have the big, soft, fluffy donuts, as I mentioned at the top of the podcast, that I typically have. I can't have it, with the coffee Monday through Friday on my way to work. So I found these Kedem tea biscuits. Now, they claim that they're chocolate flavored. Yeah, they're brown, but they satisfy. They do the job. They do enough. Okay, so I got a package of these. They come in vanilla as well as chocolate. And then there's another flavor that's supposed to be a flavor. The vanilla is the only thing that really tastes like vanilla. So yeah, that's doable. You remember there's a movie where the dad dressed up badly, right? And he said, mushroom belt. You don't stop at the mushroom belt. You don't stop right there. You got to coordinate. So shout out to my friend Jeanette, who hooked me up years back with this really nice matzah tie, right? You don't just stop right there. You don't stop right there. See that there? But trust me, I tried the tie. The tie actually tastes a little better than the matzah. I got some streets. They weren't my preferred, but I got some streets matzahs. It's called lahme oniyah. Lahme oniyah. It's the bread of affliction, right? But I can guarantee you, if you're a certain age, you eat a lot of this stuff and you don't drink enough water, it will become the bread of affliction in a completely different way. It's going to stop all movement. You follow what I'm saying? He who has an ear, let him hear. You want to dress it up a little bit? The peanut butter's out of reach. I can't reach it, and I'm not getting out. We got some of this nice streets grape and kosher grape jelly. So you can have a peanut butter and jelly like I do, peanut butter and jelly matzah, to go along with the coffee. And it doesn't completely replace, but it helps out. tremendously. And there, these other little snacks that you can get. There's a ton of snacks and drinks and all of these other things that you can get to make it through. So yeah, excuse me. Those are a lot of plenty of good things that you can get to help you make it through. Again, if this is your first Passover and this is all new, hang in there. It can be tough, but by the same token, you're back on the path. You're on the original path, and you can make a sacrifice. For me, for example, in years past, I have cut out the sugars, for the same 7 days that I cut out the leaven. And in some cases, even when Pesach was over with, I extended and left the breads and the sugars alone for a month, and it did wonders for my health. Wonders for my health. That's it, you guys. That's all. That's all I was on here for, is to be a little goofy, show you a couple of products, and I'm sure you can find those exactly or similar ones to help you make it through. And to share that flashback with you from 2022. Again, that video is called Get Out on my page, Podcast Sacrum. The full video, I think, is no more than about 8 minutes, maybe at the very most, from the time I started on my way up until I eventually had to leave. Yeah, so at any rate, I wish you and your family the best as you continue to pursue the old paths. Yeah, I hope everything continues on and goes smooth for you and well for you. And that through all of this, regardless of what you do, that you see Messiah, you see what he did, and you see how he marked and sealed us and delivered us from death's jaws. And when it's all said and done, it'll be time to run out the door again and make leave of this place. But for right here and right now, while we're here and while we're together, let's help each other and build each other up and be encouraging to one another. That's it, everyone. Until the next time, you all take care. I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Take care. Chag Sameach.